Hey, what is up guys, Clunky Dude here. Hopefully you guys are doing well and welcome to my no BS best balanced Druid build in the patch 10.2.7, the new season 4 in Dragonflight. In this build video we're going to talk about the very best in slot items, and then we're going to talk about the very best stats that you absolutely need to deal the most damage possible for your balanced Druid. Then we're going to jump straight into the talents. I'm going to explain you guys the PvP talents, how they work, and then I will be showing you guys how to deal the most damage possible with the full burst rotation, okay? And then I will include some macros, and I will also be explaining where and how to get a free piece of tier set of your choice. And also I will explain guys how to craft one piece of item of your choice that is going to be max item level for PvP. Okay, so as for your gear, it is pretty simple. Here you have the top players in the whole world in solo shuffle, okay? And we're gonna check what stats these people actually have, okay? So let's take a look. That dude who's like top rank 1 player in the whole world in solo shuffle right now has life-bound gloves. That's right, because right now you can actually do a quest. I'm gonna show you guys right now. When you talk to Militia, this character right here, which is located in the PvP area in Valdraken, right here, okay? She will give you a couple of quests, and when you complete them, you will earn charges of Splintered Spark of Awakening. So first week, you can get 2 charges of Spark of Awakening, and with those 2 charges, when you combine them, you can pretty much craft a piece of your choice. So that is how that player actually got lifebound gloves, which is actually best in slot for balance Druid because it has precognition applied to it. So if an interrupt is used on you while you are not casting, you become immune to every CC in the whole game, interrupt, and cast pushback effects for 4 seconds. So that is going to allow you guys to, if you're good at juking people, it is going to make you pretty much impossible to CC, because every time you're gonna juke someone, okay, they're gonna try and interrupt you and you fake cast and you get the juke, you will have 4 seconds to fully cyclone someone. And if you guys don't know it, cyclone right now is the most powerful CC in the whole game. So GG's for playing balance Druid, I guess. Right, so next up, the entirety of this dude's gear is actually haste on everything. Every piece has haste on it, okay? So he's running with Draconic Aspirant's Insignia of Alacrity, Draconic Aspirant's Medallion, okay? No adaptation. You never pick adaptation medallion. It's garbage. It's not good at all. For the weapon enchant, it's not showing right here, but he is using Sophic Devotion, all right? As for the best in slot enchants and gems, it's pretty simple. It's always the same thing every season for Balance Druid. So it's not showing right now on this rank 1's character sheet, but it's always the same thing basically. So for your chest, you want the enchant, what's the name of it again? Waking stats. Okay, waking stats is always best in slot every time. For your necklace, you want haste in versatility gems. For your cape, you want speed, okay, the speed enchant. Same thing for your wrists, always the same thing. You want the enchant that gives you stamina. For your belt, though it's very costly right now, so I would not recommend to go and get those. For your pants, you need the enchant. Oh, bro has the enchant on that one. Okay, so you need the enchant that gives you 177 intellect and 131 stamina that you can get from the auction house, though it's kind of costly a little bit. So for your rings, you need haste enchants. As for the main stats, you're asking yourself, but what are the main stats? Pretty simple. Every season for Balance Druid and almost every character at that point, it's always the same stats. You absolutely need 30% versatility. No more, no less. The reason is because of diminishing returns. If you guys want to know what that is, just Google it. Basically, it gives you less for what you put in, basically, into versatility. So the next best stat for Balance Druid is going to be haste. You absolutely need that high haste. Haste actually helps you generate your resource faster. It helps your dots, your damage over time, ticking faster. It increases the speed at which you can press your spells, your global CDs, your GCDs. It's absolutely a must for Balance Druid or the current meta, okay? The next best stat is your mastery, but you don't want to stack anything into mastery. You want as much haste. If you can choose between mastery and haste, choose haste every time. If you don't have the choice, mastery is fine. But the very, very last that we don't care about is critical strike. The reason why you actually get critical strike from your talents and your PvP talents, you don't need critical strike on your gear. If you do get critical strike gear, it's the worst that you can possibly get. You might notice that bro actually has 3 pieces of epic gear right now, first week of season 4. Okay, so I'm gonna explain you guys pretty easily how it works. So bro crafted his lifebound gloves from the work orders with the 2 charges that I've spoke about. Okay, so now that is out of the way, he actually bought the pants of the Autumn Blaze from the PvP vendor that is located right over there in the corner. This dude right here called Derax, okay? And then what he did, he actually got 1600 in PvP rating, okay? That can be in rated battlegrounds, that can be in rated arenas, it can be in solo shuffle, and as soon as you hit that 16 rating mark, you get what is called a mark of mastery. And I'm gonna show you guys why it's that important, because it gives you a free piece of epic gear just like that dude. I'm gonna show you guys exactly where to exchange your mark of mastery to get that free epic loot, okay? That tier set piece of your choice. So we are here right now in Valdrakken, okay? Right here where I am right now. If you enter that room, okay, you're gonna see there's a girl right there on the right. Her name is Arostraza, okay? When you talk to her and you got like 1600 rating in the PvP modes that I spoke about, you will be able to exchange your mark of mastery for a piece of your choice. So that dude actually went for the chest here. Though, listen carefully, very important. This column right here is only PvE gear. So don't buy that one. If you plan on doing PvP, don't buy that column. Don't buy any piece from that side, okay? You need to buy pieces from that side right here. So if you want to get your hands on another free piece of epic gear, it's pretty simple. You can talk to Sogma right here. She's located in the PvP area in Valdrakken, and every week, resetting every Monday, she gives you one quest. It's called the Sparse quest, and you only have like to kill players in Valdrakken in the specific area. And then what you can do once you complete the quest and turn it in at this, I cannot pronounce her name, bro. I can't. You then get a trophy of strife, okay? And then what you can do with that, you can actually buy a piece of your choice. So there you go. That's a 4th piece of your choice in season 4 in first week. Now that you know what are the best in slot items, where to get them, what are the best stats possible to deal as much damage as possible, we're going to talk about what are the best talents for Balance Druid right now in the first week of season 4. Though, keep in mind, things will change, so you might want to hit the subscribe and the bell button to stay updated, because I will keep you guys updated on the subject. This right here is the absolute best build for Balance Druid right now. So this build will revolve entirely on spamming star surges. Yes, you heard that correctly. Right now, your tier set, what it does, pretty simple. Every time you use star surge, okay, your next Starfire or Wrath will have its damage increased, Okay, so you see where this is going. You will want to spam those Star Surge as much as possible before actually using your Warrior of Elune. Okay, so the next bonus that your tier set gives you, it makes it so that every time you enter Eclipse, your next Star Surge will deal 30 or 40% more damage, and it will be free. So that makes sense. You will need to use your Star Surges to then use your Wrath or your instant Starfires using Warrior of Elune to actually maximize your damage. The important stuff to notice here is we're playing with Fury of Elune, okay, with Radiant Moonlight, because it actually increases the damage by quite a lot, 50% in fact, and it reduces its cooldown. So you want to hit your Fury of Elune as often as you can just to generate that extra astral power. Okay, so that's the first step. We're actually playing with Rattle the Stars because it is going to increase the damage of our Star Surges by 12% and actually reduce their cost by 10%. So it's going to allow you guys to use more Star Surges to do your whole rotation, which makes a lot of sense. We're still playing with Denizen of the Tree. That's a no-brainer because when you spec into Friend of the Fate, it increases your damage by 10% more. Again, pretty good. We're back playing with Orbital Strike right now, okay? I believe this build was playable in Season 2. The other thing that you need to understand is we're playing with Incarnation, Chosen of Elune. Literally just gives you flat out more damage and more haste, alright? And also, we're playing with Elune's Guidance, which reduces the cost of your Star Surge by 8. So this build, you will be spamming that Star Surges so much, okay? Especially with the tier set, it is going to feel very good as a balanced Druid. At this point, it's pretty much a no-brainer, but some people don't know it, so I'm going to explain it very quickly. If you're planning on doing solo type of content, and you know, like world PvP, etc., you can always switch Nature's Vigil and Innervate into Heart of the Wild and your Sin Vigor 1 point. That is going to make you a whole lot more tanky, okay? But if you're playing solo shuffle, just go with Innervate and try to give Innervate to your healer. It doesn't seem like much, but 8 seconds of free mana for your healer actually makes a big difference, okay? In Nature's Vigil, I will be showing you a macro for your balanced Druid gameplay, and you're gonna love it, dude. As for the PvP talent, it's pretty much the same stuff as the past 3 seasons at this point, okay? We're gonna be playing with high winds, especially in rated PvP. Cyclone leaves your target reeling, which means that whenever you're gonna cyclone someone, when the effect ends, your target will have their damage reduced by 15% for 3 seconds. On top of that, they will get healings reduced by 15%, which is actually super good against healers. You got it. That's how it is. And then you got Alkin Adept. So Alkin Adept, why is it good? Because by default, as a balanced Druid, when you get hit, you have a chance to gain a free Starfire that you can use how you want, okay? And what it does, Alkin Adept actually gives you 2 charges of that. So they can actually stack. On top of that, it reduces the cast time of your Cyclone. Those 2 talents go hand in hand. That's pretty much what it is, okay? And then it reduces the casting time of your Entangling Roots, which is a little bit good, but you know, we don't use Entangling Root that much, but it can be very good when used right. Next one is going to be Moonkin Aura. So this is where we're talking about the critical strike chance, okay? Remember I said don't pick critical strike chance for your stats because you're getting it from your talents instead. This is what I'm talking about. Moonkin Aura, every time you Star Surge, it grants you 4% spell critical strike for yourself and 8 allies within 40 yards for 18 seconds. So it lasts a very long time and it stacks to 3 times. Absolutely bonkers. You will, when you cast 3 Star Surges in a row, you will have an almost permanent 12% increased critical strike. On top of that, every single one of your allies is going to benefit from it. So it's a no-brainer, man. It's the best passive PvP passive that you can pretty much have, man. There's only one little hidden thing that you guys need to understand about that build is the fact that we're playing with Astral Smolder. What it does basically, every time you critically strike with Starfire or Wrath, it applies a small dot on your target. Okay, it deals pretty much 0 damage, but what it does, it sets up your Waning Twilight. It actually counts as a third dot. So if you crit with Starfire on the target, then assuming that you have Sunfire and Moonfire on the same target, you will deal 10% more damage on your target. And if you're lucky and you proc a Friend of the Fae, it's going to give you also 10% more damage. So by using those two passives, you actually gain straight up 20% more damage. That's just how it is. Okay, so now I'm gonna show you guys the full burst rotation that is going to allow you guys to deal some massive freaking damage. Keep in mind that every 3 Star Surges you need to actually use your Warrior of Elune into a Starfire. That's just how this build works with the tier set, okay? Always remember that. So first up, you want to fully dot everything, and when you're ready to go, everything is fully dotted up, what you want to do is drop your Fury of Elune and then huge damage on everything. 1, 2, 3, instant Starfire. 1, 2, 3, instant Starfire. And then we don't have the choice, we need to spam Wrath. Now we got 3, then we're gonna redot everything very fast, very fast, very fast. Then 1 instant Starfire, we redot everything, and then 1, 2, 3, 1, Wrath, 1, 2, 3. Oh, we don't have enough. We're gonna need to hard cast Wrath right now. And then we're out of Eclipse. We're gonna cast 2 Starfires. We go into single target. We're gonna redot everything. We got 2 stacks, I believe, of Star Surges. I'm gonna use another one. And then you got your Fury of Elune back. You're gonna use it and spam again those big Star Surges, and then Warrior of Elune into 1. So what's happening right now is I'm showing you guys the full rotation for the tier set for Balanced Druid. I don't have the tier set right now. So with the tier set, you can expect it's going to increase the damage of your Starfires by quite a lot. So keep that in mind. So Moonfire kind of hitting for quite a lot, I will lie. It is actually boosted by your high haste. They're ticking very fast, and because of our talents, we got a passive which every time we actually use a Star Surge, it gives you a bunch of haste. All right, on top of every time you use a Star Surge, it gives you a bunch of crit. So it actually makes your Moonfire kind of hit crazy numbers, man. They actually tick very fast. Same thing for your Sunfire, though Sunfire deals less damage, it's more of an AoE ability, but you need those 2 dots on your target at all time, all right? Star Surges hitting for 205k. Keep in mind, it would hit 40% harder if we actually had the full tier set. Okay, we got Full Moon here hitting for 329k damage, which is not going to happen in PvP. Most of the time, you're going to see 200, 225k, something like that. But it won't hit for 300k in PvP, I'm sorry. Maybe with best gear overall, it is going to hit super hard, but as of right now, it is not possible. Your Orbital Strike should hit around like 200k in PvP. It actually hits for 329k on the dummies, but it is not the numbers you're going to see in PvP, obviously. So Stellar Flare kind of dealing some good meaty damage. Shooting Stars, that's 3 damage coming from your talents. You got Fury of Elune, which almost did 1,000,000 damage out of 2 uses, which is not bad. It just like adds a little bit of damage, and it gives you a bunch of resource regeneration, which is why we're using it on cooldown at all times. And I don't know if you guys actually noticed, but we were redotting everything before the dots fall off from all the targets, so we get extra generation. Okay, each dots that you have active on your targets actually provide you with more generation of astral power. That's literally a little trick that I wish I knew before actually trying to play Balanced Druid. So hopefully you guys are gonna have fun with this build, because again, I don't have a tier set and I was able to pull off like 700k DPS for a little bit of time before falling short to almost 450k DPS, I believe. Anyways, keep in mind that after we bursted, our next regrowth is actually going to heal for crazy numbers, because we have the buff active at the top right of my screen right now. My next regrowth will increase its healing by 121k because of this one talent right here, which is Protector of the Pack. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Your next regrowth after bursting is going to heal for a crazy amount. Okay, now is the time to actually talk about the macros. I know you guys like macros. I do. It saves a bunch of slots for your keybinds, because in Dragonflight you kind of have a lot of keybinds. Okay, so we're using Nature's Vigil, right? So you guys know what Nature's Vigil actually does. For 15 seconds after pressing Nature's Vigil, all single target damage also heals a nearby friendly target for 20% of the damage done. Okay, I'm talking about this ability right here. Basically, what's the best time to actually use Nature's Vigil? Right when you use your Incarnation. Yes, so I made a macro that is going to use your Nature's Vigil right when you start those big crazy numbers. So all of your Star Surges, your Star Fires hitting for crazy numbers, they're also going to heal you for 20% of the damage done. You are a nearby friendly target. Okay, so the next macro is actually the same macro with a big twist. Okay, so whenever you cast Incarnation, what it does, basically, it creates this green corridor on the ground, and you have to re-click it on the ground, okay? And I don't know about you, but so often, whenever I try to, like, use it, it won't let me. It's just like, there's a glitch somewhere, and I just, because of the terrain, I cannot use it. And I keep clicking it, and I have to re-press the ability and click it, and it doesn't go off. I got the fix for that. Now, when you're gonna hit my macro, wherever your mouse is pointing at the time when you press it, you will still be able to instantly use your Incarnation, which is a big deal, because in my opinion, this macro is very good, because in the current meta, there's so many demon hunters in classes flying across your screen. It makes it very hard to actually line your damage sometimes, having Incarnation being a target type of ability. But right now, all you need to do is just aim at your target, boom, you press my key, and it goes off right as you press the ability. Though, keep in mind, it is not a clickable ability. It is not a clickable macro. You will need to bind it to some key and then press that key while aiming with your mouse. On top of being way harder for your enemies to actually dodge your Incarnation, I've actually put Nature's Vigil inside the same macro. So as soon as you actually pop your big Incarnation, boom, Nature's Vigil goes off, and you can start pumping those insanely high damage Star Surges. So I think it's a no-brainer. These two abilities actually go hand in hand. The next macro that I'm going to show you guys is a macro that not a lot of people actually know about. Did you know that boomies are actually able to bounce backwards, pretty much just like a hunter's disengage, right? The name of that ability is Wild Charge, okay? And depending on your current form, it will have different effects. So if you're actually in travel form and you press your Wild Charge, you will leap forward 20 yards. If you're in boomy form, however, and you hit that Wild Charge, what's going to happen? You're going to disengage backwards, all right? And then you got another spell as a boomy, which is called Flap, that you can use after using your disengage, and you're gonna flap and travel much further distances. But what happens is, if you don't have my macro and you want to cancel your flap animation, you will have to switch into another form than boomy, or cancel your boomy form, or right click the flap buff that is on the top right of your screen. I'm going to do it just now, okay? I'm going to have to right click the flap, the overring flap ability, just to cancel it, which is pretty bad. And most of the time I kind of end up killing myself down the cliff using that. But what's happening is I got a macro that does everything for you. Basically, you just like jump, press my macro, and it automatically starts flapping. So you actually gain so much distance. It's instant. You just like press a macro, it automatically wild charges background and uses flap right away. And the best part about it is you can actually repress the ability, the same macro that I'm going to link down in the description, to cancel your flap. So you don't need to right click the ability at the top right of your screen. You don't need to switch form. It's instant. You just press the macro again. It stops the flap animation. Oh, you want to use it again? You just press the macro. You're using flap. So that's literally 2 keys in one press. It makes it way faster. Instead of having like to press your wild charge and then press your flap, you just have 1 key that does everything basically. So again, with so many keys to press in Dragonflight, I feel like every key that we can spare actually makes a very big difference. This build and all the macros will be down in the description, so you guys can only like copy and slap it and start playing right away. If you guys want to help my channel, I would highly appreciate it if you would like share my stuff to your friends on Facebook groups, everywhere that you think that people would be interested in watching it. It's going to help my channel so much. Also, you can like the channel, drop a comment, hit the bell button. It is going to help tremendously. On top of that, you guys want to stay updated on World of Warcraft stuff, and that's what I do. So thanks a lot for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and it really means a lot. And I wish you all a lot of fun with Balanced Druid in the Season 4 of Dragonflight. Let's go! Bye-bye! See you in the next one.